Hey guys, so here's my first YouTube channel post. So I'm just going to use this opportunity to talk about a few things, talk about a few techniques. Drogo is here to help me, only because I'm giving him food, which is actually something we're going to talk about, which is called mindless treating, which I'm doing right now. But we're kind of past the point of heavy-duty training with Drogo. He's kind of just where he wants to be now. So the first topic I want to cover is, when you're getting a dog, when you're getting a puppy or your first dog, crate training is super important. You definitely want to crate train. A lot of problem we have nowadays with people crating their dogs is that they humanize it too much. They see it as a cage, a jail, things like that, and it's really not. It's what you make of it. So we want to make it a comfy, cozy cave, something that they enjoy going to, something that they like. My dogs, especially this one, loves his crate. If he's in his crate, he has a nice big bed in there, he relaxes, he sleeps the whole time. So it's what you make of it. So the first tip is never, ever, ever use the crate for punishment. Never want to use the crate for punishment. That just off the bat has a negative outlook for the dog in the crate. So the dog pees in the house, you're mad. So you put the dog in the crate, you're kind of angry while you're doing it. Now the dog knows crate means bad. I was bad, owner was mad, crate is bad. So you definitely want to avoid that at all costs. You want to make it homey. So one of my favorite tools to do with the crate is to put a sheet or a blanket over top of it. It kind of closes out everything that's going on around them, especially for dogs with high anxiety. If they can see things that are going on around them, it creates more anxiety for them. It also kind of sets the tone when you have a sheet or a blanket on top. That it's, either nighttime, time to take a nap, or just relax time. Especially when you leave too, because if you're gone for 5 hours a day and they're looking out the crate for 5 hours, wondering what's going on, if it's covered, they don't really have anxiety too much about it. The other thing with the crate is to make it something they like. Give them something every time they go in. A treat. Our favorite is peanut butter Kongs. So you take a Kong and you fill it. I would put a little bit of food into it, then fill it with peanut butter, and then freeze it. That's the best thing to do, is to freeze it. Then it lasts longer. So then when they go into the crate, they're like, oh, okay, like it's not so bad. I'm getting a treat. I'm getting something fun. They'll really like it much more. The other thing with the crate, so if you're in the early stages of crate training, you don't just want to put them in the crate when you're leaving, because then, again, they associate the crate kind of with something bad, like, oh, my owner's leaving. So then they'll be a little reluctant to go into the crate. So, you're getting a shower, 10 minutes, pop them in the crate. You want to take a nap and they're not house trained yet, put them in the crate. Little things, you're cooking dinner and they're running around and you need to focus on cooking dinner, put them in the crate for a little bit. It's totally fine. It's not a cage, it's not jail. We're just putting them in a safe zone for a little bit. Like I said, we leave our crate doors open and our dogs go in and out of them all day, laying in them, sleeping in them. They really enjoy their crates. So that's definitely something you want to start doing, is just keeping them in and out of the crate. Feed them in their crate. That's a huge thing. If a dog doesn't really like the crate so much, feed their breakfast and dinner in the crate, so then they associate, crate with food, crate with something good. They'll be much more willing to go into their crate. This one will not go into a crate without food. And that's just my fault. When I first got him, I didn't know much about training than I do now. So he's kind of reinforced that he needs food to go into his crate. So that's the first topic of crate training. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. The second topic that I wanted to cover for people who are starting with training, they're just starting it now. Oh, I just poked you in the eye, I'm sorry, bud. Is called mindless treating, which is exactly what I was just doing with Drogo, which is for a dog you want to train, you don't want to do. Drogo, like I said, is at his cap with training. He just doesn't care. So I was just mindless treating him. So that's when you just give your dog treats all the time for no reason. So, oh, you're so cute, here's a treat, or oh, you're such a good boy, here's a treat. Well, they didn't really do anything for the treat. So they kind of get into that habit of not having to work for a treat. So you definitely gotta wanna nip that in the bud if you're starting training. Reason being, they're gonna be more reluctant to do training because they have already gotten the treats without doing training. So why would they need to sit when they've been getting a treat for no reason? So you wanna nip that. So like I said, mindless treating for new training, coming into training, try and avoid. Also with food, if your dog is pretty food motivated, you can use their kibble, so the food you feed for like breakfast and dinner, you can use that to train. Like I did today with my Instagram video, I used her lunch as her training. So instead of just putting the food in a bowl and putting it down for her to eat lunch, we worked for it. So she was sitting, laying down, heeling up, sitting, staying, waiting. So all that type of stuff. So if your dog really likes their kibble, you can use it for training. So instead of dinner time being here, it's in a bowl, make it fun. You know, they just will get a lot of treats in that training. So you just want to keep making them work for their food. Biggest thing too is sitting and waiting before dinner. That's kind of a respect thing. So if you can have them sit and wait before going to their dinner, definitely start that as soon as you can with dogs. Another thing, if you have a working breed, Huskies, Australian Shepherds, German Shepherds, you know, etc., they kind of get bored really quickly. So you can entertain them with a thing called a wobbler. So it's a Kong that's weighted at the bottom, and you unscrew it, you fill it with food, screw it together, and then it's Kong shaped and it has a little hole on the side for the food to come out. So it's, like I said, it's weighted at the bottom, so they have to kick it around and dump it over for them to get their food. And that really keeps them entertained, because like I said, they get bored very fast. Working breeds, if they're not doing something, they get really bored. Especially Drogo, he gets bored very easy. He's a working breed, they're hunters. He walks a lot. He'll just pace up and down because he's bored. So we'll fill Kongs and things like that. So a wobbler is a great thing. You can get it at any pet store, really. They're relatively cheap, but it'll really come in handy. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover for my first video. I'm definitely going to be making more, and I'm definitely going to do videos of me actually training with dogs. You say hi, bud? You say hi. Alright, well, I'm headed to the Flyers game, but thank you all for watching.